Trainers? Welcome back to Pokemon Deck Check. I would be Poke Dad. And today I'm without the dancing bear. So we just have to do it together. We're going to be alright. Now let's talk about Zoroark Greninja Tag Team GX. We've gone through a couple different phases with the deck. Nothing that we felt confident showcasing until today. Last night, we tried it out, showcased it for the first time on the channel. It's built with Naganadel and B-String, and it performed exceptionally well. And so we felt that it's definitely time to share what we've been working on, so let's get into it. As of right now, it's of course built for consistency, not a lot of text or anything like that as usual. Just get a nice starting point if the deck is overall going to function or if it's going to flop. So, 4 Zoroark Greninja, 3 Poipole, 3 Naganadel, 1 Ditto, nice little tech of Zebstrika, Darkrai Prism Star, Dedenne. So, 4 is probably excessive. 3 is probably the right count. If you're trying to really dial this deck in to where it needs to be, we just opt for the 4 because we definitely want it in the active as opposed to Darkrai Prism. That's like the absolute worst starter in the deck. So we try to maximize our chance of starting the Zoroark Greninja, So if you were dialing it in or starting really testing, I would subtract 1 Zoroark Greninja and see kind of what your odds of starting Darkrai Prism. If you're starting it like even twice out of 10 games, then it's worth to put the Zoroark Greninja back in. Because if you're starting that, then you're in a bad spot. I mean, you're behind the ball there. So I would just have to play around, do like a best of 10, best of 12, or match, and just see how many times you start the Darkrai Prism. Because that is no way, no whatsoever if you start it. No Weavile GX in this deck. That's what I was saying. We've gone through so many different versions of this. We've tried the Darkrai Umbreon Tag Team GX. We've tried Weavile GX in the deck. It's just not setting up. We don't have enough ball search to set all that up. And it's become a real pain in the butt, to be honest. We have a version of Darkrai Umbreon built right now, but we are nowhere near satisfied with how it performs. So, of all the decks, dark decks we've tried, this is the most viable option going forward that we have found so far. Okay? So, keep that in mind as we go along here. We love dark decks. We want it to work. But it gets to a point where it feels like we're trying to force it to work. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me, so that's enough. Alright, so our search engine, 4 Mysterious Treasure, 3 Cherish Ball, and a single Poke Comp. Poke Comp's mainly for the Zebstrika if you can't draw into it. Mysterious Treasure to get the Naganadel line set up. Cherish Ball to get your Dedenne or your Zoroark Greninjas. Would not change. I would not go down on the search. If anything, maybe one more Poke Comp, but I definitely would not subtract anything from the search. Okay? Now, the spicy part of the deck, 4 B-Strings. Okay? It's going to allow you that explosive power to get an immediate Zoroark Greninja repowered up. It's going to be awesome. Charizard was a difficult matchup because it could one-shot the Zoroark Greninja with Choice Band. No more Choice Band. All of a sudden, Zoroark Greninja, becomes that much better because they're having to two-shot it. Well, if you get a nice explosive turn with Beast Ring and some Naganadel abilities going on, out of nowhere you can one-hit KO the Charizard. So, then we got 4 Energy Search. That might be excessive, so we'll come back to that here in a sec. 3 Acrobike, 4 Custom Catcher. So, we went kind of overboard with the energy switch. So I think you could definitely at least cut 1. Okay? Everything else is pretty well right on point and dialed in. Would not miss. Love the custom catcher. Acrobike's just super good for thinning, getting energy into the discard. So it's great. A 4th would be nice. So I mean, maybe that's your 4th Acrobike right there. But I definitely think 4 energy switches is a little bit excessive. Not to say it doesn't bring value, because you need ways to switch energy off of the Naganadels to Zoroark, but there you have it. So let's just keep those 2 there for now. Supports. We've got 4 Lily, 4 Cynthia. Wow, amazing, huh? Super spicy, right? 8 forms of draw, plus the 3 Acrobikes, possibly the 4th Acrobike. That's more than enough. You're going to be thinning with other cards, other stadiums. So, I would not, in this deck, I would not test like Hapu, because there are a lot of stuff that you want to keep. So, we haven't really messed around with Hapu that much, or at all with this deck. I don't feel like it would fit in too well with this deck. So there we go. Stadium, just Viridian Forest. Get some dark into the discard and then dark into our hand for attach. Think of each dark energy as 30 damage. So the more we can access the energy, get our hands on it, the better our damage output. So no black market Prism. Just haven't been getting the value out of it, folks. And here's something to think about: is there's a lot. We're in a format. We're about to be going into a format. Well, we already were, but even more so. There's a lot of really, really, really strong stadiums, and so the likelihood of a black market Prism stadium sticking for even a turn now is, I think it's pretty far-fetched, honestly. Because, I mean, Shrine decks are going to be really popular. Fire decks are playing Giant Furnace, Heat Factory, Ultra Space. They're going to have a counter stadium. Just on and on and on. The Malamar decks are going to have like Viridian Forest and stuff like that. Pika Rom is going to have Viridian Forest or Thunder Mountain. So, I mean, we're just... And then the Fossil decks are going to have Research Lab or Dojo. So, your stadium's going to get bumped, okay? I know y'all are going to be up in arms. Oh, he's not playing Black Market Prism, but each deck is playing at least 3 stadiums, 3 to 4. So, the chances of it sticking are slim to none, and I tell you what, Slim just left town. That's the hard cold fact. Alright, so energy. 4, 8, 12. That is the correct amount. You want a healthy dose of dark, because if you do hit the beast strings, you want to be able to have access to them. So when we built this, we kind of went on the Blacephalon GX, the Party Balloon format, or kind of groundwork, how we approach this. So that's why you'll see a lot of things that are kind of similar to the Party Balloon. Now, where do we go from here? I guess if you don't like the energy switches, then you could change it to Weavile GX. But like I've said, getting all this set up with our limited search options has proven to be extremely, extremely difficult. So, the less setup that's going to be required for a deck like this, the better it's going to perform. Okay? That's just where we are with dark decks. Darkrai is my third favorite Pokemon, and I'm resorting to right now trying to run Darkrai Umbreon Tag Team GX with Hat Ladies. Okay, that's just where I am. I mean, I'm trying to use Hat Ladies to power up Darkrai because I can't get anything else to work. Tried the Naganadel build in the Weavile. It's too much to set up. Too much to set up. It's too Weavile GX dependent to move energy. 3 dark energy onto Darkrai. It's too much. And then you don't really have Ultra Ball or anything like that to get them, to get your Weavile. And, the problem isn't even getting the Weavile or the Darkrai or the Zoroark Greninja. The problem's getting the Sneasels. I mean, your only option is Poke Comp. Because they all have 70 HP, so you can't play an Elm build. There's no Nest Ball, so yeah, you have Mysterious Treasure for the Naganadel, but then you have no way to get your Sneasels unless you draw into them, and at that point, you have to up your Sneasel count to at least 3, plus a Ditto, so make it 4, and then by that time, it's just you're too far behind, honestly. There's too much setup, and there's not enough support to set it up. So, as of right now, this is the only dark deck that I believe to be viable as of right now. We're going to still keep working on the Darkrai and Umbreon and Weavile GX decks, but right now, what's in front of you is the most viable option. So, until we figure something else out, this is the deck going forward. It will be in the top our top 20 deck tournament, so be looking for that. Got a couple more profiles to do. I got a Baby Blacephalon, I got an Aegislash profile, and then I think from there we're ready to start the tournaments. Get into some of these testing, some of the matchups, so that way y'all are better prepared going forward into some of these tournaments. I know the new season, kind of Q1 Cups, start here July 1st, so you're going to be needing information here pretty quick on these new cards and new decks, so try to get it out there to you as quick as possible. So till next time, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.